Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the Robot Damacy, or Robot Spirits, R number 70, Zegapain ALTAIR, which is a character I know nothing about. I've never even seen this thing before, which I don't know how that happened, but I have no idea what this is. It's side HL, so it's not a Gundam. It's some kind of mobile suit, but I don't know. I have no clue. So, those of you that do know, you can judge the likeness for me. I don't know if the likeness is accurate or not, but I can judge the figure for you so that you can see if it's a good figure or not. Sounds like a fair trade to me. So let's get him, or well, it's a her, and a mech suit off the stand so we can take a closer look. This thing stands about 5.5 to the very top of it, 5.5 inches tall, which makes it just about 14 centimeters. It's not the biggest mech suit that we've ever seen, but it's got a lot of stuff going on. If you like shiny things or translucent things, then this is one that you might want to pick up. As you can see, lots of clear parts. Lots of shiny parts. Very cool looking figure. Lots of accessories too. So let's just dive into the accessories first. And I already put some of them on so that you can see them on the turnaround. These blue discs right here are accessories. They're not permanently there, so you don't have to worry about them getting in the way. So let me pop those off. I do want to point out, translucent plastic, generally very fragile, so be super careful with this figure. And also, I want to point out, look how tiny the hand is compared to my thumbnail. Very tiny hands. So for the fist hands, it won't be an issue, but for the other hands, it very well could be. So be super careful with that. That piece is supposed to come off too. And we're just going to leave it. That piece right there, that clear piece, is really just for the shield. It lets the shield spin around. But we do get the shield, which is one of the accessories. So it's a very faintly purple translucent plastic. It does have a nice curve to it and some nice geometry sculpted into it, so that's really nice, and it swivels around that peg that lets it snap in there. The translucent blue things on the wrists look like this, up close, and they are really nicely detailed. They have that nice painted geometric pattern on there, and they're carved out so they fit around the wrist nicely. Cool translucent blue plastic with details. I like that. It's a nice piece. And then on this side, and it can go on either side, that little clear piece that holds the shield on just tabs into these tabs right here. So they should be interchangeable. Didn't actually try it, but I'm pretty sure they are. Even if they're not, you can do it on one side. More translucent purple plastic, which looks really cool. It's this giant sword piece, which is actually two pieces. We have this one, which is the big sword piece that I put on for the turnaround, and it also comes with this one, which is a small sword piece for not the turnaround, which still looks really cool. And since it's so many different pieces connected, it actually has more of a purple hue to it, but it's still that very faint purple translucent plastic, which looks really nice. I like the way they did that. It's so crystal clear. They molded it really nicely, so I appreciate that. And then we also have wings that you probably want to keep on all the time, but you have to put them on, so we'll count them as accessories, and they are also that very faint translucent plastic. And in case I forget, they peg in or snap in, so they have a hinge back here that lets them move up and down, and then a hinge that lets them flap. So in case I forget that, which I won't now because I don't have to talk about it, those do that. So that's it for those. We do have some interchangeable hands. So you have fist hands on the figure now. We looked at those. We also have some little tiny style pose hands. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see them. They're so tiny. You have to be careful. When you're pegging them on, as you can see, each finger is individual, so don't break it. We also get some more style pose hands, slightly more open palm. So we have those. Be careful. We also have this, which is the character who I named at the beginning because I saw the name on the packaging. I don't remember what it is offhand. Ryuko something. Anyway, we get that, which is very tiny but nicely detailed. It's just a static figure, but it's included, so that's pretty cool. Does the arm move? I thought the arm might move, but it doesn't. So, I don't know. I guess that's a thing from the show, but there you go. You get that. We also get these things, which kind of look like kids' markers or something like that. But they are translucent blue and clear plastic, which replace the hands. You can see those gray bits in there with the sockets. Those just peg on where the hands go. So you get those giant blue tubes. Again, I don't know what they're for, but they're nicely made, so that's cool. And then the last thing you get is this piece, which is a little bendable wire with clear purple tabs and sockets, a tab and a socket on the end. And what that's for is you can pop the arm off, and I'll show you in the photos. Pop the arm off, put that in there, and then connect the arm to the end, and then you end up with an arm that is extended. So again, it's a complex figure, lots of bits and pieces and cool stuff. So I think most of you are going to like it. Let's run the articulation real quick. We have a hinged ball peg for the head, but it doesn't give you that much range just due to the sculpt. But it's there, so that's okay. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed how much of it's very cockpit-like for the front of this. So it doesn't look just like that. Be aware that it sticks out forward. It's a very unique design. Very interesting. We have a kind of like a butterfly joint where you can see this darker blue bit in there that moves a little bit, but then we have a ball socket that lets everything move around. And then we have a hinge at the end of that. So it's a very strange kind of complex shoulder joint, but you get tons of range out of it, so that's pretty good. Apparently it pops off really easily, so be aware of that. The shoulder pad is hinged individually and connected to the arm, so it won't get in the way at all, so that's good. We have the double jointed elbow, which gives you really good range. The only thing getting in the way will be the shoulder pad for that. And then the hands have just a single ball peg. Is it a double? No, it's a single ball peg. Torso has a single ball peg again at the waist. Just lets the entire thing move around. Borderline too loose. It'll hold the weight, but just barely, so be aware of that. We have hinged ball pegs for the hips, so we can drop those down like that, and it gives you basically unlimited range of motion. And then the socket, it's a giant ball peg, lets the thigh swivel around that. It's kind of stiff for the hip, but should be good. The knee has a double jointed knee. It's a really ugly knee joint, but it gives you really good range, so that's not a problem. That's pretty good. The ankles have a ball peg that lets the entire thing move around, and then another ball peg that lets it move around one more spot, and then another ball peg at the very bottom. So 3 ball pegs in there, lets you move the ankle all the way around. Of course, it's limited to a degree by the sculpt, but that's okay. And then if you really need to, you have a hinge down here. So the ball pegs let you do all of that. But then you also have a hinge that lets you bring the foot forward if you need to. So it's pretty nicely done, pretty well put together. So it's not my favorite design ever, but it has tons of cool parts. So I would say if you like the way it looks, or if you even know the character, you should probably look into grabbing one. It's a pretty cool figure. It's not, like I said, it's not my general favorite type of mech suit, but it looks cool and has lots of nice accessories. So I recommend it. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.